Yeah, Country 95.1, it's 8:11, Kid in the morning, going strong, rolling through a Monday, 55 degrees, kind of holding steady right there for now, but heading for a high into the mid-70s. Going to be a beautiful day today. And still to come this hour, the good stuff. That's on the way later on. And now a special guest, as I've been promising here this morning, a special guest joined by Jan Allman, who is the new CEO over at Fincantieri Marinette Marine. Jan, good morning to you. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing great.
All right, great to have you on board here. And I did say the new CEO of Fincantieri Marinette Marine. Congratulations on that. And how does it feel to be back at FMM?
It's great. I'm so glad to be back in the community, in the shipyard. That's meant a lot to me. I've been with the company 12 years, and seeing it continue to grow is always good.
All right, exactly. And Jan, tell us what's new and exciting over at the shipyard these days.
So I think it's part of the changes of coming back to Marinette is that, I always say we're not just building ships, we're building missions that matter to our nation. And one of the biggest things that we're really focusing on is that with the frigate program, we've really focused on that system of shipyards where we're integrating Marinette, Sturgeon Bay, and Green Bay really working together in that integrated model. We've invested more than $400 million alone in Marinette Marine. We spent about $80 million over at Bay Ship to really bring that system of yards to fruition. So we're ramping up with a frigate program, and we're very excited to see that come alive as we integrate the yards.
And Jan, when it comes to those big, beautiful ships there, what's new with them?
So LCS 31, we're pretty excited to talk about that because we want our last one to be the best one. She just finished Builder Sea Trials, and it was the best in program history. So typically, when in the past, sometimes a Builder Sea Trials would take 2 weeks. We completed a flawless trial in 3 days. Something really to be proud of the team and that flawless execution. So the last one's going to be the best one. So we're really proud of that. Multi-mission service combatant, the very first one, we're hoping to launch in the new world's largest synchro lift this year. It just got certified. So we're pretty happy about that. And then, as I said, we're ramping up the yard for frigate.
All right, and in studio here is Jan Allman, the new CEO over at Fincantieri Marinette Marine. And Jan, how is the shipyard innovating?
So I think or something else we're very proud of is that we're able to leverage our parent Fincantieri to bring new state-of-the-art technologies. And we just had SecNav as well as the GAO in the yard, and they said that we're one of the most technology advanced yards, our system of yards in the industry. And the reason why is because, we're bringing in tablets and mobile workstations real time, so you can bring the models right up on the floor, compare them to the build, identify issues with the engineering team right there live. In addition to that, we use exoskeletons. So if you come out to the yard, we can fit you up with an exoskeleton. And but it's really for the paint operations who do blast and paint. For a blast operation, you may be running sandblasting a module all day and holding that, at I would call it at chest height, blasting. You get fatigue. And what this does, it keeps your arms up to where it's weightless. So you just basically have to point and aim. So it really allows you to eliminate that fatigue factor from having to do that all day long. And then we also have augmented reality headsets to improve coordination across the modules. And what that does is, like when you install pipe, you put this 3D, reality headset over, and it shows you the model, and you can see if you actually did what the model says you're supposed to do to avoid any type of alignment between the modules as you marry them. So it's some of that pre-work that you can do, so you don't have to do a lot of cutting and redo. In addition to that, we're also using cobots We're currently trialing them out, but what the cobot does is basically instead of becoming a welder, you become a welder technician, that you're programming these cobots to do the work for you, and you really become more of a welder technician. And probably the big thing that you'll see is that we're really training our workforce, for that next generation, using all leverage this new technology because based off of my area, cell phones weren't even invented when I was born. So obviously, the generation coming into the shipyard, that new one, is very technologically advanced. So they want to see and be able to utilize this technology. So things that they're very familiar with, we actually use out in the yard to help them do their job.
Talk about modern technology, CBOTs, and all that kind of stuff. And Jan, what would you say to someone who used to work over at FMM or is thinking about applying?
I think what's different in the past, we've continued to invest and modernize in tools and process, and really we're driving that transformation of the yard to what is that next gen really looking for, and making sure that we're up to speed with it. We continue to really engage our workforce, and we're if you apply today, there's retention bonuses up to $2,000. There's $5,000 in stipends for dependent care. And if you're a time and attendance employee and wish to convert, we offer a $3,000 conversion bonus. And as well as we're investing in our people and training to these new technologies. So I encourage anybody who's interested, who had worked in the past, to reapply and come into Marinette, because we are growing. In the past couple of months, since February, we've hired over 600 employees, and we're still looking to hire a couple hundred more. So it's pretty exciting times. And if they're interested, August 1st from 10 to 2 over at the Annex in Pine Tree Mall, we're actually doing a hiring fair. So if anyone can come out, once again, it's August 1st from 10 to 2 o'clock over at the Annex in Pine Tree Mall.
Okay, talking with Jan Allman again from Fincantieri. Marine, any closing statement here?
My final thing, if you're interested in coming to work for us, you can also go on www.webuildships.com.
All right, sounds like it's been a seamless transition since you took over. And hey, thanks so much for dropping by in studio here this morning. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.